For a second, and let me get the microphone.
I have a ghost story.
How's that? Is that good?
I mean, this really happened to me. It's very scary. Ready?
Yeah, we're ready for you. Go ahead.
Alright, so I went to take a shower and I went in and I took a shower and when I was coming out I heard a loud banging noise in my kitchen, and I was living alone. I thought it was kind of odd that there would be so much noise out there, and I came out into my pantry and I looked, and all of the pots and pans had been exhumed from my cupboards. I thought that was strange. So then I went and got dressed, and I heard another loud noise, and I have this kind of like big closet in my hallway with 2 wooden doors. It had been flown open, and my reserves of toilet paper and linens had been scattered everywhere. So I stood into the little kind of foyer place where I figured the ghost was, and I says, "Look, I know you're here. Can we just come to some kind of an agreement?" And everything's been pretty nice since then. Thank you.
Cool.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Kind of freaky.
Kind of freaky.
Kind of like me. Freaky.
Okay, we'll play a quick song. We'll play a quick song about ghosts that we wrote in 5 minutes, and then we'll see if anybody has other stories.
Elizabeth.
Ghost Town.
GEC.
I live in a ghost town. No one ever is around. It's a lonely, scary place. It's a lot like outer space. A dark fucking hole for your mind and your soul and your face. It's really lonely in outer space. It's a lot like a ghost town. So I go to the store, but there's no one there, 'cause no one's really around anymore, and I don't know what to buy, 'cause everybody's left or died. So it's a ghost town. No one is around. I live in a ghost town. Thank you. We're Cat Stories now, by the way. We changed the band name to Cat Stories, but it's actually Ghost Stories.
But next month it's going to be different.
Tell them what we're going to be next month.
Tell them what we're going to be next month.
Next month we're going to be Snow Snakes. It's actually a ghost story I have. I was like tripping on acid and it was in the snow and this thing like jumped out at me and I don't know what it was, but I think it was a snow snake. No one ever believes me, but
That's her own mind.
I think the acid kind of messes up the whole story.
do you have a story? I do. I think we got a storyteller here.
GEC?
So let's do the GEC thing. And
All right, folks. The following story is inspired by true events, like one of them shows on the Lifetime channel, you know. If your savior dies, are you still saved? I found myself asking myself that question because I'm in love with a ghost. Of course, Carmen wasn't a ghost when we met. In fact, she was more full of life than any woman I had ever come across. I mean, how many gorgeous Puerto Rican physicists that happen to be kickboxers do you get to meet in this life? I fell hard. I was going through a divorce and my life was falling apart, but she changed everything. It is 5 years later when I get the text message. I'm sitting at the bar at Mumu's. It's colon cancer, she says. It's stage 4. I don't even know what that means. So I turn to Crazy Joe, of all people, and I ask him, and he doesn't know either. So I pull out my iPhone and I Google it. In half a second, the definition of stage 4 pops up like a telegram. The cancer has metastasized, it says. She's terminal. So I drop my phone on the bar. I take her to doctors, surgeons, oncologists, chemo 3 times a week, transfusions, now a pain specialist, but she's down to 100 pounds and nothing is working. And then I meet this guy in Austin at a trade show. He recovered from brain cancer years earlier. They said he was a goner, but then someone told him about the Indian herb. He writes the directions on the back of a computer brochure. There are no signs, no house numbers, he says, and be sure to bring a picture of her. Part of this shaman's magic has to do with visualization. It's a 5-hour drive to the high desert and a shack above a high, dry riverbed. The old woman sits in a rocking chair with a mortar and pestle in her lap. She's mixing something. As I walk up, she looks at me with the warm patience of the aged. In the bowl is a black paste that seems to soak up the light. She takes a pinch and applies it to the photo with a playing card. The Queen of Hearts, no less. I'm taken aback when she pulls out the matches and lights the photo on fire. She stares intently, watching the paste burn with a blue flame above the surface of the glossy image. I look closer. There's something happening to the picture. I swear it's moving, flickering like one of those old silent movies. Then in a flash, the photo is gone. She mixes the ashes with the Indian herb and hands me this vial. It's 90 degrees here in the sun, but somehow the glass is frosted and cold. One more thing, she says. The Indian herb works only with a pure spirit. It absorbs through the skin, so never ever use it with alcohol. When I get back to Portland, I learn that Carmen is in a coma. I'm too late. That night she comes to me in my dream. She holds me, but she doesn't speak. I tell her she has to let go of this world. I kiss her goodbye. Just that moment, my son wakes me up, calling out from the bathroom. His nose is bleeding. I get him cleaned up and catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror. I must have smeared blood on my face because it looks like lipstick on my cheek. I'm wiping it off when the phone rings. It's her sister, Mercy. Carmen is gone. At Mercy's house, I sit in the kitchen and watch the men from the funeral home wheel her stretcher towards the door. Logan calls out from the living room, "Dad, the TV went off. The power in the house has gone out." It flicks back on the moment they close the door of the hearse. Weeks later, it's 3 a.m. when I stumble home. The nightly beers, they dull the pain, but I wake up the minute they wear off. I look in the mirror and I see that I've forgotten to shave. My eyes are bloodshot from lack of sleep. I don't have dreams anymore. Then I see the Indian herb sitting on the counter. I pick it up and weigh it in my hand. Could this have done the miracle? I wonder. Could it be a cure for cancer? I unscrew the cap and take a whiff. A sulfur smell. I stick my finger in and look at the stuff in my hand. As it warms, the black goo turns clear. I remember what the Indian herb did to the photo of Carmen. It brought it to life. I reach to the reflection in the mirror and I touch it. The Indian herb spreads smoothly on the glass. In a moment, my reflected self starts to blur. I must be really drunk, I'm thinking. Then the image starts to change, deconstruct. My skin, my teeth, my bones are dissolving away. I look down at where my heart would be, and it turns translucent. Inside is something dark, tortured and writhing in pain. Something horrific that's becoming clearer and more magnified each second. I hear a voice from the mirror. "This is your soul." I crumple to the floor and I cry out in the night. I let her down. I couldn't save her. This cannot be undone. It's morning now and I'm sorting through the photos I picked up from Carmen's house. There's one of me sitting on the patio at Mumu's. That's odd, I think. Where did she get that? Then I look again. The front of the bar is painted red, but it's always been green since I've been coming there. I grab a deck of cards from the drawer and pick up the Indian herb, and I spread it on the photo. I light a candle. Maybe that's the trick. Wave it over the flame, but don't let it catch. Something in the image begins to come out. It is Carmen. She's starting to come alive in the flickering motion I saw at that shack in the desert. She reaches down to touch my heart in the picture. Then she whispers in my ear, and she points to a beautiful Latina woman who's sitting at the next table. I'm sure I've seen her before. Then I see myself in the picture, and there's something different about me, too. I'm not sad anymore. In fact, I see myself laughing as I move over to join the woman for a drink. Carmen bends down to kiss me on the cheek, and she starts to fade away. Just then, the photo catches fire. Wait, no, come back, Carmen. I try to blow it out, but it's gone to ashes. I still use the Indian herb sometimes. In fact, they painted the bar green a few weeks later, and I just decided to start spending some time on the patio. It's been 2 years now, and yes, I've gotten to know that woman she pointed out. I'll let you know how that turns out. So now, my audience, I'm going to take a photo of you with my little iPhone here. And I'm curious to see what phantoms you might be carrying around. I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe, the ghosts from your past have forgiven you 1,000,000 times over too. There's a darkness inside of all of us, something we keep locked away. But that's what gives it its power. To truly disarm that darkness, I think all you have to do is acknowledge it. Look at it and say, I see you. You're part of me. So as I close this story, I have to say that yes, I'm in love with a ghost. I looked into the abyss, and that love saved me long after she left this world. And just to be spooky, I'm thinking I should tell you what I saw in the mirror that night. But be warned, I promise it would scare the living shit out of you.
I need a fucking cigarette.
That's gonna be a tough one to follow.
Yeah, good luck.
If anybody has some like ghost dog
Why don't we play one of our
stories,
shitty songs to follow it, and then there's no
ghost
pressure.
hamster stories, something. You made me
I guess
cry,
we'll
asshole.
Okay, we'll play one of our shitty songs I wrote in 5 minutes and then kind of lower the pressure a little bit. This song is called Attics of Ghosts. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got attics of ghosts sitting around eating toast, watching TV and sleeping a lot. I'm looking under the bed and chairs move and apples float in the air. I'm not scared. I got attics of ghosts. Attics of ghosts sitting around eating toast and they're sleeping a lot. Got attics of ghosts sitting around telling jokes and chairs are rocking back and forth. No one's around and I'm still eating toast. Got attics of ghosts. Got attics of ghosts sitting around eating toast. They're watching TV and they're sleeping a lot. Keep looking under the bed and chairs move around my head. Attics of ghosts. Thanks.
I had no idea.
Does anybody have any ghost stories? Oh, we got a ghost story.
Rochelle!
I feel like a ghost today. Anyway, so I used to live in this big old 100-year-old manor house up on Woodstock, and in the basement it was all gutted out and kind of creepy down there, so we decided to start cleaning it up. And then we had like 13 people living in this house, and one of the roommates' daughter, 13-year-old daughter, had a slumber party one night, and so they were all creeping around down in the basement, and they all came running and screaming upstairs saying they saw a ghost. And Julia had taken a picture of it on her camera phone, and it was really fucking creepy and gave me chills. And it was pretty clear there was some fat, creepy man sitting in a corner. And it was really freaky. And then we also had the doorway to the basement didn't have a door on it. It just had this old door, like, 80-pound wood door with a big glass panel in it. And we had it leaned up against the doorway to the basement. And every once in a while, I'd come downstairs in the morning and it would be laying on the floor and big gouge in the wall. And so I'd prop it up a little bit further, or make it more solid. I'd always double check it, make sure it wasn't wobbly or anything. And then, so then this happened like 2 or 3 times. And then one night I was sitting in the living room and I was talking to another roommate who was in the kitchen, and there's a hallway between the kitchen and the living room, and you can see the basement door in between. And he's talking to me through the kitchen, and all of a sudden the door falls over. And it didn't just fall over, it went ka-kunk, and then fell over. And there was nobody there. There was no cat. There was no nothing. And I just instantly got chills. And I'm like, okay, that's it. And I went and grabbed the door and I put it out on the front porch. And we never had any more instances of that going on. But there was always weird noises in the basement. Like it sounded like people hammering from underneath, from the floor above. And it's just a really old, creepy house. And there's also a tombstone in the front yard. Like when people built houses like that, a big old manor house, the master of the house, when they died, they would bury them in the front of the house, and they would plant 2 trees, and whatever tree grew up faster or taller, that was the path they would take to heaven. I don't know which, if it's left or right or whatever, but the tombstone's there, and so there's the dead guy buried there, and my cat is buried there now too. But anyway, that's my ghost story, one of them. And yeah, thanks Phil, thanks you guys rock. Keep doing this because it's awesome, and I love you all. Mwah.
Thanks, Bianca.
Should we do one more ghost story and then another song? Phil needs a drink.
Can we get a drink?
Can you?
Like,
What do you order
you
me
don't want to
one?
see him sober.
Woody. Woody's a roadie for the band. Can we get a drink over here on?
I need tequila, Woody. Like that last song, like made me cry. And you know how hard it is to make me cry.
Wow, is that bad?
I was crying.
We need a shit jar. Oh, let's do it. Tell us your story.
I need tequila stat. What do you stat?
We're ready for you.
No, we're totally ready.
We're ready for you. We'll be
We'll
easy on
totally
you.
do it.
Yeah.
It's old school. He's embarrassed because he feels like it's not.
Thanks, dude.
Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't be embarrassed.
Oh, God.
Let's just do E and A.
How does
E
the
and A.
microphone work?
Microphone
He's
shut.
gonna do microphone.
You need a microphone. You need your flute.
We only have one mic because we share it.
You need a flute.
Take it off the...
Playing too loud.
Well, no, we can. Sure.
I don't think so, but
I think so.
might wanna
he's gonna do. I want to do.
We can do it right here, Maury. Come on.
Vocal.
We can share.
Want to stay
We
with
can share.
comfort.
We'll do
We
it
share.
together.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. I'm not. I don't.
What? C minor.
Oh, you
No, I don't give a fuck. Thumbs.
Oh no, he doesn't know.
We'd have to take some
I'm right. I
Good
am.
ghost.
Well, I mean, it's a real good one.
He's got a good ghost story. I'm making you tell it.
She is. No, we're taking our coats off, but.
This is the only. I don't know if we're gonna do a very
We're
good
fine.
job.
Do the flute. I'll do the intro. All right.
We're ready.
I'm right. All right. Cool.
Get it started.
Anyway, man, if you guys know Portland, you know Skyline Boulevard. I grew up in this town, and so Skyline is like up in the West Hills. And before it got all developed, we used to go up in our four-wheel drive trucks and shit like that, and like go up there and drink a lot and hang out. And so it's one night, me and my homeboy driving up there, and yeah, we got stuck in the mud. Anyway, and it was way up there in the middle of nowhere.
And
then, yeah, so we got out. Like, what the fuck are we gonna do?
And this is a story about what happened after the and then.
Yeah, so we got out. You know, we were like, what the fuck are we gonna do? And we're in the middle of nowhere, and then we heard this strange flute.
All right,
So we're
tell the
like,
story.
I thought you were gonna do the flute.
You go up into the hills.
Anyway, yeah, so I had this strange
Riding your-
flute noise. And then, it's a real story. Don't forget it. Yeah. And then I heard this.
Guys get
I
stuck
heard-
in the mud,
and then
right?
We're in the middle of nowhere.
And then they start hearing this strange
So in
flute
the middle of
sound.
nowhere, I heard this Daddy, the little girl's voice. In the middle of nowhere, on the woods.
Daddy.
Oh.
Daddy.
It's not supposed to be sexy.
Daddy.
It's supposed to be sexy. Help.
Help. It's not sexy.
It was
Help.
supposed to be sexy.
Daddy, help.
It was like, Daddy, help.
It's
Yeah.
gross. Daddy, help.
It's not supposed to be sexy. So we're like, what
Daddy,
the fuck?
help.
So the only way out was like we had to walk up the road. to this weird, like, abandoned, it looked abandoned to me, this house. Sorry.
I know.
And the dude was kind of freak. Knocked on the door. Daddy. So knocked on the door. We're trying to get my homeboys like from high school to come pick me up. And he was kind of a freak. I think he cracked the door. I remember, and handed me like the old school like this phone.
Are you calling 911? Is it a local call? Otherwise, you're not allowed.
No, I was calling.
I don't know.
I was calling John David. So we called John David to come pick us up. You're making it better, brother. Wait a minute. So, but the dude was so creepy. I was like, I don't know what's going on.
All right, dial it in. Call it in.
We called it in. And Johnny came picked us up and pulled us out of the mud, but yeah. It was a...
The dude picked him up, but
only
nobody ever knew what was all about the... Daddy. Daddy.
That was it.
Daddy.
I don't know why the girl with the weird flute.
Help. Daddy.
Oh.
Woo! That was a good one. It's the same chords, but it's Ghost in the Bar.
No, it's the same.
Did you order me a drink yet? Help me, Woody. Help me. I beg of you. I love you. I love you.
Tequila now.
I don't think you can.
I can't wait for
Thanks everybody for coming to Ghost Stories. We got another song for you. And then hopefully some more stories. So it's basically the same chords, just A minor.
That's a great story, by the way. I'm not playing till Woody brings me tequila. I refuse, like...
A ghost sitting in a bar, lonely nights and walking home again. Ghosts, well, they're drinking too much, sleeping in, forget to set the alarm again. This is Ghost in a Bar. Ghost buying a drink that he doesn't really want, spending all the money, burning out tonight. It's just a ghost in a bar, ghost in a bar. Ghost in a bar drinking whiskey from a jar, forgetting to set the alarm again. Thanks. Anyway, that's our song. Thank you. Any storytellers? Ruth, maybe? Ruth! Ruth? This is Vera's mom over here. all the way from Southern Oregon, Bedford. She said she has so many ghost stories she wasn't sure which one to tell.
I love you, mommies.
That's good. There's.
She's actually very shy.
I've been living with ghosts for a long time. They're all around.
C&G, yeah.
Amy?
Do a really close.
C&G.
I was coming up from Phoenix once, and I was bringing my daughter back to Colorado where I live. She'd been with her daddy in the summer. We were coming through the Navajo reservation, and the Navajo reservation's really spooky anyway. So I got a little bit sleepy, and I pulled behind a church, and I slept for a couple hours. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning when I started back up off the desert and through the San Juan Hills going up. And it was about a 20-mile road that went up to about 5,000, 6,000 foot pass. And it's all twisty and windy, and it's all national forest, so there's no towns. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, and I've been driving all night because I didn't have no money to stay in a motel. And my daughter was sleeping in the car beside me, on the right-hand side, as a matter of fact, and so we get about halfway up the pass, and I noticed 2 horses right by my right wheel well. And one's a mother, and one's a daughter. And you can kind of see through them, but they were bay, and they were beautiful. It was like the moon was shining on them. You know, and as the car made each successive turn, they were just loping along beside us, and you could just see them. As the wheels turned, their legs stretched out, and you just watch them. They're beautiful, beautiful. And I should have known better, but I kind of fell under their spell, and it was 4 o'clock. And I just let myself watch them. Kept driving around those steep turns, going higher and higher, and there's a sheer drop-off coming up. I didn't see it because I was watching the horses, right? Until one split second, I swear, it was like someone snapped their fingers, and they woke you up out of being hypnotized. The horses made a right-hand turn, that, straight off the cliff, and my wheel went. At last second, I caught it and pulled it back on. I was so scared. Those were ghost horses. And they were mad at somebody. They were not my friends.
I don't know where Woody went. Can someone get Vera a shot of tequila and just put it on her tab?
Yeah, how can you even stop the music?
Mike, what are you doing? Sorry, we have a drinking problem.
Get Vera a shot of tequila right now. It's done! Don't even... Do it.
Do it, okay.
Drinking stories. That might be next time.
Wait, what's the next song? Yeah, the last one.
So the horses in your stories, they were...
Oh, you changed my dress? Richmond represents,
Richmond in the house.
Richmond in the house.
We're Cat Stories. This is Ghost Stories. Here's another song we wrote yesterday.
Tell them what it's called.
It's kind of a hoedown.
He's referring to me.
In my own personal fantasy of an apple soda.
Smashing the ghost against the wall. slowly down the hall. You're just waiting for someone special to call. Smashing your car against the wall, hitting your head on your neighborhood bar, leaving some money in a tip jar, just picking at that bloody scar, throwing the ghost in the case, picking up chili paste, making some human waste, and memories are being slowly erased. Smashing a ghost against the wall, or just sitting around on your living room floor, walking slowly down that creepy dark hall, or you're just waiting for your friend to call, or you're just smashing a ghost against the wall, or you're just smashing a ghost against the wall. Thanks. Any more takers for some ghost stories?
Thanks, Phil.
Anybody left? Is anybody left as a ghost story?
Thanks.
Really? Oh, okay.
I wish I had a really good ghost story to tell, but I don't.
Alright.
No, I don't have the good one.
Well, a few years back I was taking some ceramics classes, and one night I came in really late because my creativity kind of shows up when it's really late, and I came in and no one was there. I turned off all the lights and I just had a little flashlight, and I started spinning a wheel and I started molding this face I had. And as I was molding it, I felt these arms come around me. And it's like they were helping me mold the face. They were shaping it with me and telling me where to go. It was a beautiful face, but when I turned around, it broke and it fell down, and I've never been able to recreate it. When I turned around, Patrick Swayze was gone.
I don't know why I can tell a good story about Scott.
I can tell a good story.
Want to tell a story?
Where's your shaker?
Do you want to tell a story about Scott?
Okay.
Right?
Phil,
No, hold on.
Yeah.
maybe we have a story.
Yeah, I will take stories. Anybody has a story? Step right
We don't?
Yeah, that was actually all of it.
Off the top of my head?
We don't have a real story about
I don't have it off the top of my head right now.
out. All right, we got a ghost story. We got one.
Here you go. No, it's somebody else.
This ghost story takes place in a sleepy little mining town in Arizona. A mining town with a sordid past. I just happened to be there one weekend at a bed and breakfast called the Ghost City Inn. Now this Ghost City Inn had a staircase up the backside of the bed and breakfast. It was a rickety staircase that had been there for many years. Many a cowboy and prospector had climbed up and down this staircase.
I got more stories than
It was after a long night of drinking at the Spirit Room, which was the bar next to the Ghost City Inn. And we got to bed fairly early that evening. Sometime about 2 or 3 in the morning, there was a loud noise outside the room. The sound of a drunk person falling down this rickety staircase. nothing. Not the usual, oh crap! Just silence. So the next morning around breakfast with all the other bed and breakfast occupants, we were all looking at each other wondering who was the mysterious person that had fallen down the staircase in a drunken stupor. Turned to find out it was none of us. It was a ghost at the Ghost City Inn.
We're nearing the end, so if more people have ghost stories, feel free to come up, or we probably.
Otherwise, we'll go smoke cigarettes.
Or yeah, well, then we'll just go smoke cigarettes.
We have one more song, though.
We have one more song. Does anybody else have a ghost story? We got any takers?
I do.
You got one?
I'll tell it after our song.
Okay. That would be good.
Alright, this is a song we just made up yesterday, so it might be a little rough.
I made up yesterday.
Which one is it again?
It's like F, 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 C, 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 and then E minor or something. Ghosts on a ship, talking backwards and eating chips, running back and forth, mumbling discreetly, rattling chairs, feeling no pain. It's a ghost ship. Ghosts on a ship, talking backwards, they might slip. They're eating potato chips. They don't know where they're going anymore. Ghost ship. Thank you. We're Cat Stories. Ghost story? Yeah. You got one? We gotta take her.
Alright, it's the same notes because it's Phil and, you know.
I'm lazy. We'll play them slower for you. ADG.
ADG.
AG. AG. Alright.
AG?
Let's hear a story.
Alright, so I was touring around in Europe and I met a Slovenian princess in Amsterdam and it was wonderful. I went to her little town. She lived in this little town called Slovenska Bistro. So if you guys don't know where Slovenia is, you know, here's Italy in the boot. It's right in the corner. Then you got, you know, Austria, Hungary, and Croatia on the side. Croatia has the most beautiful beaches in the world, by the way. Hit it up if you get a chance. And we were out in the local graveyard there, and they got their town rights in the year 1080. Graveyard has been there forever. They take care of their dead every day. They go out there, like their families, they go and they bring flowers and candles, they light them up. When you go across, you can see all the candles lit. Like they really take care of the people. And we walked up there, we were just touring around the graveyard, and there's the apple orchard next door, so I picked a couple apples, and I'm sitting there eating them, and as I'm walking by, you guys ever seen the movie Predator? You know, where he like has that translucent like look, where like he's completely like invisible, but you can still see his movements. Well, I was walking along, and out of one little gravestone, there was it looked like the wind moved, like a friggin', I don't know. It was an anomaly. It was like it was blowing the Predator. So it was amazing, and that was the most I've ever seen of a ghost. Town Rise 1080 in Slovenska Bistrica, Slovenia. It was wonderful. Phil does know more than 3 chords, by the way. Alright, well, I don't know.
I have one.
You got one?
Yeah.
Alright, we got one.
What can we play for Amy?
Phil, if we run out of ghost stories after your radical ghost story, does it go into cat stories?
Could.
Probably not. We'll probably just go smoke and call it.
Okay.
It goes to cigarette stories.
Cigarette stories.
Or you tell them out in the back. Around everyone else's story. Okay.
Yeah, we're not prepared.
So the last week, on my way to work, and on my way home to work, on my bicycle, I've been coming into contact with a coyote in that Irvington area, with all those mansions and house cats. First time I came across it, it was feeding on a house cat, no. On a giant possum, yes. The next time I came across it was mid-daylight the next day. And yuppies in their SUVs were screaming, "Watch out for the coyote!" But I said, I know that coyote, it's cool. I'm on a bike, we're friends, we're cool. And then last night, on the way home from work again, I ran into the coyote. And I stopped my bike, and it was running, and it looked me in the eye, which is a very symbolic thing. Because when an animal looks you in the eye, that's your spirit animal, and then you should really pay close attention, and you should really do some research on what it's trying to tell you. And I watched it run away, and the craziest thing is, it fucking disappeared into the moonlight. And I was like, what the fuck? But then it reappeared again and ran off, but that told me something. That it's just a spirit coyote, like those horses were. It's a spirit coyote. And what coyotes represent? They represent folly and trickery and having fun and not taking life too fucking seriously. And that's all.